It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Banning, and I will be your host for this absolutely invigorating, robust lifestyle show. I first would like to thank each one of our listeners who have tuned in live today and the ones that will be listening to the recording on the podcast. I am just so very grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. And you are all in for another amazing show today, as I have with me my incredible returning diva, Dawn Phoenix, and her and I are going to continue our chat about breaking barriers, part 2. So, oh man, are you in for a special show today? So, Dawn, could you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Yeah. Hi, Joyce, by the way. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everyone who's tuning in now. So I am a jack or a Jill of all trades. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, and right now I'm focusing on interspecies communication. So intuitive interspecies communication, which in more simple terms is animal communication. But I am also a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I am a channel. I'm a best-selling author. I'm an energy medicine practitioner. So I wear a lot of hats.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Well, you are a Jill of all trades. I love that. Oh, you do so many different things. That is so exciting, of all the benefits and all the knowledge that you're bringing into this universe with everything that you are doing and using the gifts that you were so given to you. And I love that as you share your gifts with the world. That is just beautiful. So
yeah.
You are so welcome, Dawn. So as we continue our chat today on breaking barriers, how would you like to start to explain to our listeners what that is all about? We talked about a lot of different things last time when we chatted about it. And how would you line up this one today?
Let's see. I think, I'm trying to remember that we left off kind of talking about how we can communicate with other beings, not even just animals, in our world. And so I think I want to start off and just remind everybody that we have, and this is kind of piggybacking off our chat, we were chatting before the show even started, we have the natural-born ability to communicate telepathically with all beings, not just animals. One day we'll be able to do it with each other, but now we can do it with the elements, the wind, the water, the soil, the rocks, the other beings besides the animals who are in our space who we're not even aware of, because humans actually perceive less than 1% of what's around them. So there's so much in our world, even in the room we're standing in, that we're not aware of. And we have that ability to tap in and to start expanding our awareness outside of our physical bodies to the world around us. So I used to be a kindergarten teacher, and in that process, when the children are growing up, from being, a baby up until they come into the classroom, around that time, their world becomes less about them and me, my needs for survival. And they're beginning to realize that they have an effect on the outside world, and they see outside of themselves. And so I kind of feel like humans are kind of coming into that state of, the kindergarten area, maybe first grade, where we're starting to learn, okay, there's more than just us here, and we can expand our awareness outside of ourselves and really to start explore the world that truly is around us beyond the physical eyes.
Oh, how true that is to become aware of our surroundings, of just like the trees, the beauty that the trees offer, especially right now. They're starting to change colors on their leaves. And, I mean, it's just breathtakingly beautiful. And if us as humans fail to take that few moments to just gaze out there and see how that beauty surrounds, you're going to miss it, because it's a short period of time that those leaves are on those trees in those magnificent colors that they give us to enjoy. So that is one thing that instantly came to my mind when you said be aware outside of our physical bodies what it is totally around us. And the sounds that the winds make, if you just stop and listen. I always say shut down that ego mind and come from your heart and just listen. The winds are they're beautiful, the different sounds that they make. So those are a couple examples that came to my mind when you were talking, Dawn.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's perfect. Absolutely.
Well, and to some of our listeners, when you say telepathically communicating, some of them may say, okay, what exactly is telepathically? How can I communicate other than through my cell phone or verbally? How would you explain to the listeners that are unfamiliar with what telepathically means?
Sure. So tele means over a distance in Latin, and pathy means feeling or emotion. So telepathy literally means feeling over a distance. So it's been a misunderstanding that telepathy has to do with mind reading and it has to do with the brain. It actually, since it's feeling over a distance, it takes place from our heart space. So when we can sit quietly and just be, we're able to drop down into our heart space and just kind of hang out there. And the heart space is the place where we house our unconditional love for ourselves and for everyone else and everything else around us. And when we can drop down into that space, it's possible to send and receive emotion and other types of information, physical sensations. You can also send thoughts. And it's important to note that whole concept of telepathy is your heart. You're connecting your heart to, like making a phone call. Instead of using the phone, you're using your heart to connect to the hearts of others. And so that is what telepathy is.
Oh, that was beautiful. Connecting hearts to others. And that is just so beautifully said, because when I think of that, I think even outside the human world, the things that are around us, the animals, connecting heart to heart with them. And I feel the trees, the wind, everything has a heart. I mean, just connect in that unconditional love to all of them. Oh, how beautiful. And when you said sit quietly, to me it's being in that present moment, being in your heart space and enjoying that present moment that you are in right now and everything around you. So, that was beautiful. I love that, connect heart to heart.
Mm-hmm. And actually, that's how, when I'm teaching my animal communication class for beginners, that's one of the first things we do is we learn how to just connect into the heart space, the heart energy of an animal we've loved in our lives, whether they're here with us or they've crossed over. Mm-hmm. And so we learn how to just sit and practice that after we learn how to quiet our minds, because that's always first and foremost. Because it's such a powerful tool, and it ensures that when you have a connection, it ensures that you will be connecting to the chosen being you want to connect to, and that the information you're getting is pure because it comes from the heart and it's not distracted or diluted by anything from the outside world.
Oh, and how true that is. And when it comes from the heart, like you said, you know it is true. And be it that animal is here by your side, or be it that animal has crossed over, you can connect with them still on a heart-to-heart basis. And it is such a beautiful connection either way, because I experience them both ways. And it's hard to put into words the beautiful experience that it is when you connect with your loved animals, or the loved ones that have crossed over, or the animals that are right there beside you. They feel it. I mean, my little red healer now will just, her eyes, they just shine when you know you're connecting heart to heart. So, oh, that is so beautiful. I love the heart energy, and quiet our minds. That's where it always starts.
Yep, always.
Well, as we go into that more, to me, that's a very good introduction into breaking the barriers, is to start to quiet your mind and to go to your heart and to start letting that energy flow, because to me that's what's going to break those barriers, that be it maybe mentally that we have put up, that some people think, it's hard for me to communicate with my animals in that way. Well, to me, what you're sharing with them is the knowledge on how to break that mental barrier and start to connect with them on a heart-to-heart level. So as we do that, how do you proceed then from there on breaking the barriers?
The first thing is, and I love, this is perfect, how you talked about just now, breaking that barrier of the mind, and our thought process, those mental constructs that we have. So when we're in that heart space, it allows us to become a pure and open channel. And so we can start to build our confidence, because confidence is key when you're doing something new always. And so when you're doing something that you cannot necessarily physically prove all the time is happening, it's, invisible a lot of the time when we're having a connection with another, an animal. We'll stick to animals right now. So to have that confidence that you are actually capable of doing this, number one, that's one of the number one things that I run into with my students, and then after when they graduate, when they are in my mentorship program, is we work on that confidence. I have the ability to do this. And also the confidence that what I am getting is really from that animal. I'm not making it up. And so when you're in your heart space, that allows you to more easily have that confidence in yourself and to trust in the process, because the heart is pure and you feel that. The mind can take you in 20 different directions and invent things. So when you're in that heart space, you'll know this is coming to me and I trust the process, because you're able to have that feeling. So the next step is and it sounds easy, but even there are some times where I will be getting information from an animal and I will catch myself second guessing, is this me, or is this coming from the animal? Because sometimes what happens is I get information before I even connect. So when I connect, that information comes in again, and I go, I have to decide, did I make this up earlier because it was something I thought I might hear? Or did I just get the information before I tuned in to get the information? Because that does happen. And it's very important, even after I've been doing this for years, to remind myself, okay, where are you right now? Are you in your head or are you in your heart? And that's that constant, it's breaking a barrier between the head and the heart. So we have to be able to recognize when that voice is coming from our head space, and then when that feeling is coming from the heart space, because it's so much more subtle. And the voice can be much louder. And so that's the importance of being in your heart space and recognizing when you're there and recognizing when you're in your head space. So the next step is definitely to stay in that heart space and cultivate confidence. Have that beginner's mind, just like in kindergarten. Go slow. Pace yourself. Don't try to rush and jump into things, because that's when your doubt will creep in. Build a foundation of confidence.
I absolutely love that. That is so much information on how to break that barrier, and I totally agree with you. Number one is confidence, because so many times I'll question myself. Did I really hear that? Or who is that coming from? And when you gave the example of you'll hear it even sometimes before you've connected, and I've done that before with horses, and I'll say, okay, now, is that one of you talking to me? And then they'll usually come to me and say, yeah. And I'm going, okay, this is what I heard. Is this what you said to me? So it's like you have to come out of that heart space and know that you have the capability to do it. And we all have this ability. It's something that we were all given, and we just have to let it shine, is how I feel. It's letting that light shine of knowing that we can do this, and to have the confidence in ourselves and not just say, oh, I didn't really hear that. Yeah, you did. If you were in your heart space and really listening and tuned in, you heard it. And I love how you go to start out, go slow, because that is so true. I mean, I have so much I could share on that, on how my red healer that crossed over, he had me go slow before he ever left, so that I would know when he had crossed that we could communicate together. And so it's to go slow in the beginning and take those baby steps as you go. And they're right, your angels are right there guiding you. I feel that all the time. And when you look back, you know they were too. So, that was just beautiful on that. I loved how you put all that. But those were some thoughts that came to my mind when you said all of that. And your heart is so pure. That is so true. And how your mind will take you in 20 different directions, if not more. It's always going here, there, and everywhere, where your heart knows where it needs to be, and it stays focused and centered. So, beautiful, Dawn. I loved every word of that.
Thank you. And that reminds me of one of my most favorite quotes ever. And I wish I knew who said it. Every time I see it, it just says it's anonymous. So the quote goes like this: a bird sitting in a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking, because her trust is not in the branch, but in her own wings.
Oh, that is beautiful, and how true that is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That it's not in the branch breaking, but she knows she has the wings to fly away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and to support
Dawn,
herself.
that is...
And we do too.
We do. We totally do. It's so fitting to humans as well to build that confidence and know that we have that ability to do it. We were all gifted with it, and that is what is so incredibly beautiful. Oh, I love that, and I love that quote that you just said. That is very, very fitting to everything in life. And as you are teaching this in your in the courses that you offer through your knowledge, how do you feel that people can help to build that confidence? I know you said to go slow and stay in the heart space. Are there some other tips that you can give to our listeners that will, when they start to doubt themselves, which we all do, like you said you do, I do, how do they come back into that heart space and stop the doubt?
Recognize the voice, where it's coming from. You can feel into that, and you'll be able to tell. We have very finely tuned intuition, and you will, it's kind of like dipping your toe in the water and getting the temperature of it. If you really spend time and you understand what that voice of judgment or doubt, the ego mind, what that sounds like, if you get familiar with that voice, and I say voice, but, it's that flavor, when you get familiar with that and what that sounds like, how it feels like in your body, pay attention to how your body responds when you know that you're having that communicate with you. Feel how your body responds. If it tenses up, if you feel any tightness anywhere, any constriction. So learn to recognize that voice, because then you'll be able to know. And this was passed along from another animal communicator when I was in a conference. When you pay attention to that voice, you'll be able to recognize it at any point in time, and then you'll be able to put it on mute and tell it to go ahead and sit in a corner. And then you'll be able to recognize the information coming in that is not that voice. So you'll just have it on mute. So that's definitely the first thing, is to become familiar with what that voice sounds like, feels like to you emotionally, and how your body responds to it. So that's the first thing. And then there are 2 more tips I'd like to give. The next one is to practice, practice, practice. Keep practicing, connecting, communicating. The entire world is alive. There's no shortage of places we can practice these skills every day, even if you never leave your house. You don't have to be next to another animal or another being. You can just set the intention to connect. If you have friends who have animals, family members, you can just connect with them. You don't need the permission of the animal's person. You just need the permission of the animal to connect with them. And when you connect with their heart space, that is them giving permission. When you ask, I'd like to connect my heart space with yours, then you get that permission, and then you can do it. So practice, practice, practice. And also, the second thing would be to get feedback. If you know someone else, for me, it's my mentees. So I will mentor, and they'll check in with me. Hey, I was communicating with my animal, or I can't communicate with my animal on this because I'm too emotional about it. And I don't think that it's going to be clouded, what I get. I don't think I'm going to, be successful at it. So I'll say, okay, well, why don't you tune in? And then I'll tune in, and we'll see if our information, don't tell me anything yet, and just say, we'll see if our information matches up. See what you get, see what I get. So it's kind of like the buddy system. It's good even up into adulthood. Just have someone who can give you some feedback and either confirm what you got, or if you didn't get anything, kind of give you some information. And oftentimes what I find is people will say, I kind of got that before, but I wasn't sure. It's like, okay, because we are indoctrinated by society to look outside of ourselves for confirmation of everything. And so it's okay to do that in the beginning when you're learning, until you build up that confidence.
Oh, those were 3 great tips. Oh my goodness, how I can relate to all of them. That first one about recognizing the voice and how it feels. Listen to your body is what I say, because just a quick example on when my little Minka came into my life. When I saw her picture, I started crying and I got the chills, and I connected right away with my red healer that crossed over, and I said, is she the one? Because I always asked him, how will I know when I find the right puppy? And he said, you'll know. And he said, yeah, that's the right one. So it's being in tune with your body and listening to how it says. So that was an example I thought I have to share on how to just tune in to what's happening in your body on the first one, and practice, practice, practice. And yes, Do it with some others. Get feedback, because I know there's been times where I've called on others because I said, okay, I'm too deep in. I'm too connected here. I need to know what I'm hearing is correct, because I feel I'm so involved that I'm not sure what I'm getting is right. So I loved all three of those. Oh, those were perfect, Dawn. Such good 3 tips. I loved them.
Yeah, thank you.
You are so welcome. And Dawn, I knew this would go so very quickly, because I just feel your energy. You and I could just chat. I think we could chat for hours about all this and just share experiences and different things. And your knowledge is just, oh, I love it. I just love it. So, Dawn, before we close, would you please tell our listeners how they may best connect with you?
Absolutely. So I have a special place on my website. So it's dawnphoenix.org/contact. And you go there, and there's a whole list of ways that you can contact me, and it'll take you right to a link to schedule a meeting with me, or to find out more about music that I make, or more about animal communication. Just find out what I do at all and say, hey, there's all kinds of different ways, and you'll just choose how you want to connect.
Oh, I love that. That is so easy and simple to connect with you. That is perfect, Dawn. And Dawn, before we close, I must ask, I would love to have you back on Robust Lifestyles again. You do so many different things, and I don't feel we've even completed the breaking barriers, but you have so much more knowledge to offer to our listeners. Would you please come back on my show again?
Oh, Joyce, I would love to. It would be an honor. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I am just so excited. It just seems like such a great fit, and your knowledge that you're sharing is just incredible with our listeners. So, Dawn, I want to wish you magical times until you and I connect again on Robust Lifestyles.
I wish the same for you. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. And to all of our listeners, I want to thank you for listening to this absolutely amazing show with our incredible diva, Dawn Phoenix. Please share this show with your family and friends. Check out all the hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. And remember the 3 tips she gave you. Recognize that voice and how it feels inside of you. Practice, 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 and get feedback from others. Just remember, you need to come from that heart space, that heart energy. Just clear that mind and just come from the heart where it is so pure. And with that, I want to wish all of you a magical day. Remember, be kind to all. Give your animals a hug and share all your love with them as they so deserve it. Until we connect again on Robust Lifestyle, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.